So this is probably one of the most common questions that is raised up by students. And truth be told, there really isn't a solid answer to this. Now, if this isn't the answer that you were searching for, then I'm about to make it a whole lot worse. You see, when it comes to revision, and it doesn't really matter whether you're studying for your GCSEs, your A-Levels, or whether you're on a degree, you still need to make your own assessment of just whereabouts you are with your own work. Because at the end of the day, there isn't one formula that applies to absolutely everyone, and anyone stating otherwise is just misleading you. So now that we're on the same page and acknowledge that the sole objective isn't the time that you're putting in, I want to go through a few points that will not only try and get you guys to execute your revision, but also, more importantly, get you the results that you want. In my recent video where I explained how you can spend less time revising, I mentioned that cramming really isn't effective and you could just be wasting your time in the process of doing that. I mean, yes, cramming is better than maybe doing absolutely nothing, but there's so much you can cram before you actually end up exploding. Now, what tends to work a lot better is if you spread out your sessions across a time period, as opposed to trying to tackle it all in one go. Just think of any top athlete. Now, you wouldn't see them skipping through training for most of the season and then suddenly just turning up the night before the finals to bust out all the training. It just doesn't work that way. And since your brain is a muscle, you need to treat it with care and delicacy so that your brain will work for you rather than against you. So really, you may want to rethink about stocking up on that Red Bull and pulling off those all-nighters. Now, the reason that students have to start cramming in the first place is due to the fact that they haven't scheduled their work routine accordingly and are now having to compensate for this. Now, look, I'm not saying that you're all robots, and listen, I know this because I myself have had to learn the hard way, and I don't want you guys to suffer like I had to. So what I'm suggesting is that no matter how behind you think you are, before you dive in, set yourself a plan. Make sure that you have a proper plan, not some sort of plan where you're going to be Superman during the day and then Batman during the night.
I know you're here. You can come out.
What do you want, Clark?
It's like this, Bruce. Sooner or later, somebody's gonna ask me to bring you in.
Now, do you actually know why a lot of people end up wasting time in the first place? Even though they're actually trying their very best, it's actually down to the fact that a lot of us don't actually know what type of revision suits us the best. And guess what? No one has actually bothered to teach us this. I know schools certainly haven't. So what can you do to save yourself all of the stress, the blood and sweat and tears? Well, if you learn very early on through trial and error and try and discover what style suits you best. Now, there are different styles. Some people like to learn orally, where they like things being spoken out, so you can record yourself doing that. Some people are more visual learners and others are more practical based learners. Now, for myself, I have a combination of differing styles of learning, and so I'll sit through a lecture, I'll make some notes, and then thereafter I'll get a blank piece of paper and start drawing mind maps and trying to connect all of the things that I just learned from the lesson and how this relate to each other. Now, another technique that I believe that is very useful is if you try and adopt the Feynman technique, which is where you learn something like you're about to teach it to someone else. This technique has a ton of scientific backing, and you can find out more information about it from the link below. Well, I hope that this now gets you on your way and getting on with your revision. Let us know how you're getting on in the comment section below. And hey, if you found this video to be useful, then do consider subscribing. My name is Amin, and I will catch up with you another time.